ensure that the health, safety, and well-being of all women and men workers. Employees play a key role in preserving and promoting the physical and emotional health, safety, and well-being of their women and men of employees. So, issues of safety and health, very important. 4, you need to continuously develop your talent by skilling them. If employee training is very key, and it has to align around the shared values, which helps ensure compliance within the company policies and practices. The other aspect is it can also help advance women's professional development, leading to a more leadership roles within the organization. The 5th one is implement enterprise development, supply chain, and marketing practices that empower women. I'm happy that most of the companies who have already signed up here, including MTN, even Stanbic, they already have products that target specifically women. And these are designed based on the fact that most of the women have difficulties most times in accessing or owning resources for their businesses. 6, promote gender equality through community initiatives and advocacy. All of us here have a mandate, actually. Give back to the community. Why? Companies that invest in community development program partnership to advance gender equality with others. So this is key to our success. And then the last one, you have to measure these results for accountability purposes. Very important. Shortly, of course, I'll show you how to log in and then use the online interface to register. So what is the web journey you've considered? After considering, what next? You have to sign in. That is what took place here. Next, you have to develop the action plan. What are you going to do after signing? There should be an action plan to engender your work ecosystem. And then engage your team, your business partners, customers to ensure a gender-inclusive value chain in whatever you're doing. Definitely, you have to learn from it, collect statistics, analyze it to make decisions. And then you have to report your progress, like the exchange here was doing this morning. So, as we do that, we need to understand the webs and get buy-in from our senior executives and key stakeholders, because this is very critical. If they don't buy in, that's an issue. But we are happy that those who are here, you've taken really a good initiative to make sure that you are signing up to this. So I will not repeat this. So what is the process? The CEO signs the statement of support and then initiates application on website, which I'm going to share with you. After that, you need to complete a gender gap analysis gap using the tool to scan the environment for your companies. Then you develop the action plan, complete the application on the site, and then continue the journey. As you do that, you need to advocate, communicate, and report. As UN Women, we'll be providing you technical backstopping. So this has already been. So what is the benefit of signing up? Definitely, it's about gender diversity. And from here, after signing up and as you walk the journey, what are you going to benefit? The studies we did shows that the companies that sign up to WEBs will have improved corporate and financial performance. How their profit growth and better solvency grew by twice, and then return on assets 3 times, and then return on sale 4 times. So you have made a good decision, and a good decision for your business. The other one, it will increase employee satisfaction, motivation, and retention. You know, when you have gender parity within your organization, that balances up the board. So, and it is good for business. And it will also enhance innovative capacity of your team. It will also, of course, increase your visibility and branding, but more so issues related to corporate social responsibility, and then environmental ESG. So I know a lot of companies are going into ESG, which is good. We are also tracking that. And then the other one is it will better meet the needs and demands of your customers. And of course, more investments and export potential for your companies. So you're in the right place and having made a decision to sign up for this. But what are some of the challenges? I've just pulled out some few. One of it is lack of leadership commitment to change. Other companies, even in our own families, of course, we know some are conservative. You do not want to have gender diversity within your own businesses and families. These are some of the challenges that we continue to face, but we can cultivate buy-ins and commitments to WEBs by demonstrating the business case for gender equality and women empowerment. And this will involve, of course, engaging senior leaders in the implementation efforts for this journey. The other one is resource constraint, intentional. There should be a budget that should be allocated in order to capacitate your gender diversity at workplace. The other one is resistance to change. Some employees, particularly those accustomed to traditional workplace norms, may resist efforts to promote gender equality and empowerment. So what can we do? We should invest in comprehensive change management strategies, and this includes clear communication about the rationale for WEB's implementation and engaging stakeholders. And then, lastly, as of this morning, over 9,000 companies have signed up to WEBs. So this information was as of 2 days or so ago. How do we sign up? If you just go to the web page and type WEBs, it will bring you a web page like this. Then you go to join somewhere there. After that, it will prompt you now to follow the signing in processes. So once you Google this, it will come automatically. And from this web page, there is quite a lot of information, including training opportunities and other materials that you can actually download and share with your team. As UN Women, we are there to support. Finally, thank you. There is quite a lot of toolkits that you'll get there that you can interact with. So that makes the end of my presentation about what the new companies have just signed in today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Okello. Louder applause, please. Okay, so I hope some of you, I know many youth, as you're busy putting up a website, others are already signing up. So how many have? Okay, So we hope you will sign up. Okay, next, we have Kathy Adengo. Kathy is the head of sustainability and ESG at Stanbic Bank. She's been a very key player in this space and many other spaces. She comes with a wealth of experience, but last week I learned a statement from my daughter. She said, you know, you have to toot your horn. Okay? I knew it's another way of blow your horn. She said, no, you have to toot your horn. So today, I have a lot of pages about the people here, but I'm going to allow them today to toot their horns. So Kathy, tell us about yourself. Tell us what you've done. While you're telling us, then maybe I'll ask a few questions about Stanbic, but we'd first want to hear who Kathy is and your footprint.
Maybe I go over there. Hello. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. It's such a pleasure to be here with you this morning on such a special occasion as we empower and uplift more women in Uganda and also across the world. So I'm Kathy Adengo. I'm the head of sustainability for Stanbic Bank in Uganda. I've been working for many years. If I tell you how many, you will guess my age. So, but I carry quite a wealth of experience working in various sectors, from FMCG, extractives, oil and gas, definitely a couple of experiences which are within Uganda, Ghana, and London, mostly in the space of corporate affairs, sustainability, social performance, having worked on a couple of projects which IFC supported in the extractives. So I've got experience in that. And then building the portfolio for sustainability in Uganda for Stanbic Bank, and also playing a key role in the development of the ESG regulations today in the banking sector. Sitting on the technical committee, working right now to build ESG within the banking sector with all the other banks. But overall, I'm trying to summarize as quickly as possible, but my breadth of experience comes from having worked in different sectors that have exposed me to understanding a lot around sustainability and what it means, regardless of which sector you're in. And one of the key fundamental things that I've always been excited about is gender equality. And I'm very proud to be championing a lot of initiatives with teams in different organizations, and especially within Stanbic Bank. And I'm looking forward to sharing our journey so far and what we've been able to achieve. So thank you.
Was that a hand clap? Or people patting their neighbors? Thank you, Kathy. Next to Kathy is Mr. Mubale Mugalia. He's the country representative and investment manager at Sanlam. Mr. Mubale, tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Good morning. So, I've been working for some time. It is true. And I see quite a number of familiar faces. But what is not very familiar to me, or it's even a privilege, is the concept of discrimination, because we've not had to experience that as a firm. In fact, where I'm currently working, I've been there for about 10 years. And for the first 8 years, I was the only guy in the office. Yes. So definitely issues around women, I'm a bit more familiar. But nobody gets a pass or leniency on the work they need to do. Everybody has been doing their bit. And that is why we are the leading fund manager in this country. So I like the accelerate progress, because it's the women who have powered Sanlam Investments to number one in this country. So I'm proud of that.
Oh, wow. Thank you. This crowd and clapping. Didn't you hear what Dr. Mindra said? Please clap. Don't be pushed. It's part of action. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mobale. Next to him is Christine, who is the lead at who is the brokerage manager at Cheaper Technologies. Christine, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Damali. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine. It's the only name I have. Nkodisana is my father's name. Morams is my husband's name. Maybe the other one that I have acquired on my own is being an Alongo. So I am proudly an Alongo. My firstborn is a boy and a girl, so things of gender, I am a bit sensitive. So yes, I work with Cheaper Technologies Uganda Limited. I'm the lead brokerage manager. I joined Cheaper in 2021. There was no brokerage in there, so I don't know if I'm the founder or something. I started from scratch. I found they only had a license from CMA, so I had to go through the drills with Paul to make sure it's about and moving, and I think we are doing well. He used to introduce me as the newest kid on the block, but now I think someone else will come through. Yeah, so I have been in the market for about more than 10 years. I joined straight from campus, thanks to Dr. Mindra. Yeah, I will talk about that in a moment. So that is Christine in a nutshell. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Paul, whereas you told us about WEPs, by the way, we had the principles. I am going to pick each table to please give us a principle after Paul tells us about himself. So choose a representative. Please don't be that table that did not pay attention and only participated in the breakfast. So,
Okay.
Paul?
Thank you so much, and thank you, colleagues who are with me here on the podium. I'm called Paul. My other names are Collins Okela. I work with the UN Women, and as far as I know, my career is, I think I've only worked with women and children since I started my career. I'm also shy to tell you how long I've worked, but I think you can see from my face. And I'm really, really grateful to have all of you here and to share this moment of, starting the journey or journeying on issues around gender and women's empowerment. Thank you.
Thank you. People, please. Okay, I've seen some people who didn't clap. They're the ones I'm going to choose to take. Principle number 1. That table. Please give us a principle. Paul spent his time educating us because it's what they're going to talk about. These are the guys who've been doing it and the new one who's going to do it. So we need to understand what they've been doing. So which table is ready? Principle 1? Dr. Mindra, this table is disqualified. Yes? The table that will fail, the DJ is going to play for us a song, and they will not only dance, they will be jumping while dancing. Yes. The microphone, sorry, where's the second mic? Okay. What was principle 1?
Thank you very much. Principle 1 is high-level corporate leadership for gender equality.
Okay, what does that mean? She can be helped.
This table, please.
She can be helped by team members. Just one line. One line. We're not going through the whole explanation.
what it means is we'd like to have the leadership, ownership
Yes.
of these principles from the highest level so that they're able to influence and impact change, and there's a trickle-down effect. We think that the business leaders, the corporate leaders are the right people to own the principles so they can effect change.
Thank you so much. A hand clap for that table. Principle number 2. Yes, please. Please pass on the mic. I want us to understand them because we need to ask the right questions to this panel.
Principle number 2 is treat all women and men fairly at work with respect and support human rights and non-discrimination.
Oh, thank you so much. What does that mean, team members? Okay, we will not be clapping for this table. We'll just one clap for her. Okay,
I
she's been saved.
Yes, first of all, Damali, thank you for steering this ship so nicely.
Thank you so much.
Treating men and women, or women and men fairly, that means women should also have an equal share at the table. Because right now, let's call a spade, it looks like the men are the ones who have more at the table. So we are calling on, or the principle is calling on all of us in this room, especially decision makers, to make sure that there is gender parity at the table.
Thank you, Stephen. Obugalo was Stephen. I take back my word. Clap for the table. I was trained at CEO Summit. They train people to become CEOs. So please look up Stephen. Number 3, principle number 3. Number 3. Yes, you're redeeming yourselves. That table. Number 4, please prepare this table. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, employee health, well-being, and safety. My group members. Explanation. We need to make sure our members at our workplaces are emotionally, psychologically, financially
What
well.
principle is that? Sorry? That was number 1? Could you kindly repeat it? I thought I had a line that was not there.
Employee, health, well-being, and safety.
We have an examiner. Mr. Okello. Is that principle number 3? She sneaked in a
Ensure.
word. Yes.
Yes, ensure that the employees,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So my group members, we are all equipped, yes.
Thank you. Yes, that's principle number 3. It basically has to do with ensuring that the health, okay, we put health, maybe we call them measures in workplaces, right? To ensure
Yes.
that the workers are taken care of in terms of their health. Then also the well-being, we know what it's all about. The safety, basically it engulfs all around the workers themselves to ensure they're in a comfortable, working environment. Because
Thank you.
if we choose to break them down, there are several. There are quite a number of them. Unless if you say I got down to break.
No. That's enough. Thank you so much. That table is very excited. I want to know what's triggering that. Okay, the table next to you. Number 4. So at least now I'm sure we'll ask the right questions to the panel.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Principle number 4.
Yes.
Promote education training and promote professional development for women.
Thank you.
My group members can explain.
Okay, please choose a group member.
Training for all employees about how the company is advancing gender equality aligns everyone around shared values and helps ensure compliance with the company policies and practices.
Thank you so much. Obugalo over that table. At least now we are sure you're visiting the website. Okay? Okay, principle number 5. There's a table looking the other side. Yes, ma'am.
Principle number 5.
Yes.
Implement enterprise development, supply chain marketing practices that empower women.
Thank you. Elaboration?
My colleague
A line
should
or two.
help.
The group, please help your member. What did she just tell us about principle number 5? Okay, is there a table that can help? Oh, yes, ma'am.
We're trying to redeem ourselves. It's looking at companies playing a key role in influencing wider business ecosystems and business partnering through inclusive supply chains and policies. Thank you.
Obugalo over that table. Thank you so much. We have 2 to go. Principle number 6. I like that action. She stood up before even they are picked. Thank you. Proactive.
Principle number 6, promote equality through community initiatives and advocacy.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Through this, we look at institutions coming up with initiatives in communities that can promote women and the girl child to advocate for their rights and equal opportunities.
Thank you. A hand clap for that table. Oh, they
But
even have
also,
more.
In the work environment, we've seen women being at the front when it comes to leadership. Okay, and sometimes when it comes to promotions, we consider women first. Thank you.
Thank you. A hand clap. A louder one, please. If this breakfast had not been paid for, I was going to ask Paul to issue each of you with an invoice. Principle number 7, the last one. Wow, we have a guy. A hand clap for him.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Principle number 7 is measure and publicly report on progress to achieve gender equality. She will be explaining.
Hi everyone. First
Hi.
of all, I want to introduce myself. As I'm Harriet Namazi, CEO of Harriet Foundation in Uganda.
Thank
An
you.
organization aimed at promoting gender equality in Uganda. So
Wow.
I'm explaining 7, which is transparency, reporting, and measuring. So here we are measuring the impacts we've done in the community. After doing our projects, have to measure what impacts have we brought in the community. We keep tracks of the performance and then we report to the public.
Thank you. Obugalo. She's the one who introduced herself, so at least we know what she does. So, Paul, we are sure they paid attention because we've gotten all the 7 were principles. Okay. I will go to Kathy. Catherine, why did Stanbic decide to sign up for the WEBs, and what motivated your commitment to this to gender equality and the women's empowerment? And what specific initiatives and products and programs has Stanbic implemented to advance the goal of WEBs? And have you seen this impact? Have these initiatives yielded impact? Would like to share that with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stanbic signed the principles in 2020. And it was a significant event for us because it began our journey to setting very clear goals that would meet all the 7 principles. And what I'm very proud to say is that we've made very many significant strides in this space. And among the things I'll really quickly mention, because there are actually a number when I looked back and went, wow, over the 4-year period, there are a number of things we've been able to achieve that were quite key. The first one is, as we all know, women still struggle with having access to affordable finance. We're a financial institution. What we care about as a financial institution is not just to lend and support economic growth, but we have to be a responsible lender who cares about things that are affecting us as human beings, and one of them being gender equality. It aligns to the SDGs that we also align to in terms of our purpose. And by the way, for those who don't know Stanbic's purpose, it is Uganda as a home, and we drive her growth. Why is this critical for us is through the initiatives we did, we created a specific women's product. And the reason we did this women's proposition, it is called Stanbic for Her, is to address the challenges which Paul had highlighted. And among the things we have seen in the financial sector is just for women at every level, whether they're vulnerable women or women in a middle class, still having struggles to access finance at an affordable rate. So we created Stanbic for Her, which is a proposition that is actually subsidized. The rate is lower than market rate to ensure that more women have affordable access to finance and can be able to thrive and grow. It applies to businesses and it applies to individuals. So please, let's first clap. If you're a woman, come to Stanbic, and allow me to recognize my colleagues who are there. Sarah, who actually leads the Stanbic for Her proposition with a couple of our colleagues. And anything you want to find out about the product, please reach out to her because it's available. And something that I'm very proud of with the team is that in the time we set up Stanbic for Her, we got a lot of support from IFC in terms of research to understand the justification for why we needed this project and why we needed the product. And it has grown tenfold. So some of the successes here is the portfolio started off very small, and roughly we're talking about maybe 1,000 or so clients. Today, as we speak, we have 6,000 women who we have issued loans. 6,000 from 1,000. And what's also more exciting is that the baseline for also the loans was very low. I think we started off at about 16 billion. Today, it is 98 billion Uganda shillings that has been extended to these women. And what that means is that it's continuously helping the women to thrive, especially the biggest part of the portfolio is women in business. And these women who have, whether they're smaller businesses, it might be a duka owner, it might be a logistics company, it might be anything, are having access to this affordable finance that's helping them grow. But what I tell you, which is an important statistic about women in this portfolio, it is our best performing portfolio because we have the least non-performing loans. They're literally about less than 1%. And that is remarkable, which means all these women are literally paying back their loans, and it's actually allowing them to continue to reborrow, to continue to grow. So that's one of the key ones. But the other one, which is very important, is the corporate leadership and empowering women in the organization to grow. So we started something called Ignite. Ignite is a women's leadership development program in Stanbic. Started off very small as well with 50 women who we were trying to develop and grow. And now it has grown to 400 women across the organization. That's literally 50% of all the women because we have about 800 women in the bank. So we've been able to take 400 women through this program. And what that has resulted into is seeing the promotions over that period. We started in 2020, slowly began. We've been deliberate about the specific leadership programs for these women. We started off at the time with the 50, but now the promotions we've been able to record are about 250 women elevating from where they were 4 years ago. And for us, that's what we're looking for. I mean, we're also proud that our CEO is a woman, and we're very excited about that. But also, the diversity on our board is pretty much 50-50, as well as on our EXCO, our executive committee. So these are some of the commitments we made earlier on to make sure that we're actually implementing the principles within the organization. And maybe lastly is through our community work. We're so keen on our corporate social investments supporting women. Something that FITSPA will be very happy about is a program we have called Women in Technology. It's a partnership with Women in Technology. They're based in Bukoto. It's a program that looks at skilling vulnerable women in technology skills. And by that we mean just simple computer literacy, learning Excel, all these other things. The reason this program is something we're keen on is that when we did a research around what exactly are the problems that women who are at a vulnerable state suffer with, it's just a lack of education on basic things. So while she's probably running a small supermarket, she can't balance her finances because she doesn't know how to use a computer. She can't use Excel. And then at the end of the day, due to gender issues, it might be her husband who takes the money at the end of the day because she doesn't know what to calculate and he's the one. And we said, how do we start getting involved in real practical ways that help? So we sponsor these women to get those skills in partnership with a company called WeToo, that's Women in Technology. They're based in Bukoto. You can visit them and you can see all the different young girls there. They start from the age of about 18 onwards, and they're very humble people who you can see that one class has actually changed their lives, and you watch what happens to them over time, and it will be some of the impact studies we shall do to do that traceability of what happened when they learned the skill and where they are today. So those are some of the things that we've been able to do across the organization. There's a bit more, but I'll just, in the interest of time, summarize and close at that one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy. Remember the homework? What am I doing? What's my organization doing? What is my group, my bigger picture doing? We have seen what Stanbic is doing. And thank you, Kathy, for all that. Mr. Mugalia, as an investment manager, why is it important for the companies to invest in women? And how do you see the WEP principles influencing your investment philosophy and approach? How are you going to incorporate the gender-related criteria into your investment analysis and decision-making processes? Please educate us. If you can share some specific examples, that would also be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, our business, we get money from individuals or companies, and we invest that money. So a lot of our work is where do we invest? And this work is done by people. And as a company, we also have a responsibility to the community. So those are the three main areas that we tackle. Broadly speaking, as a group, Sanlam Group, we are signatories to the UN Global Compact since 2008. We also, as an investment firm, we are also signatories to the Sustainable Investment Principles. We are now part of WEPS. And also this week, we also had an MOU signed with the UNFPA, where we are doing some collaboration around maternal health. So there's a lot that we as Sanlam and the UN and women that is going on in the background, and we're happy about that. So when it comes to our work as allocators of capital, I can assure you that most of the conversations you hear about sustainability and things like that from corporates, it's not that they just want to do them. It's because when we want to buy these businesses, we ask them, what are you doing in this area? And I can confirm that it has become a little bit more technical than that. Within East Africa, as a firm, we now have 2 certified ESG professionals. I believe we are the only investment firm within East Africa that has that capability, and we are already reaping the benefits of that capacity. Luckily, one of them is a woman, so it's 50-50. There are no issues there. So in the investment process, we allocate, when we are determining which business to buy, be it Stanbic or MTN, we allocate almost 20% of our scoring to sustainability. And it allows us to do two things. One is the return on investment in businesses that score very highly on sustainability issues has been very good. Over the last 15 years, I think the gap, those that score highly and those that score poorly, the gap is almost 30-40%. So we are happy about the return on investment. It's not free money. It also allows us to manage our risks and reputations. That businesses that have considerations on sustainability have less risks. When I go to sleep, I'm not too worried there are going to be interesting stories about where we've invested, because if something like that comes up, then we are forced to take a bit of action. So 20% goes into our scoring. Our teams have also now developed very specific models when we are scoring sustainability, which takes into account gender. And we've developed specific models for each industry because we recognize that on the sustainability scale, a bank and a brewery and a telecom, they have different impacts in terms of how they do business, and that allows us to understand them better. So we visit these businesses regularly. We talk with the CEOs. We ask them, what are you doing on water? What are you doing on gender? And where we see gaps, we ask them for commitments such that when we come back within a quarter or a year, there must have been an improvement. If there's no improvement, there's a consequence in that regard. So from an investment process, that's how we are handling that. And we've found that our investors are also very keen on ESGs. A number of them within the region are looking to setting up processes, so we have capacity to help them in that regard. And when it comes to us as a business, as a team, I've talked about the few partnerships that we're doing. We also have, we've partnered with Strathmore to support women in leadership within the organization. So there are trainings that we are doing specifically for the ladies. And we also are responsible in the communities. When we go out to talk to communities around financial literacy, sometimes we've actually engaged women groups, for example, in orphanages and other communities that are a bit more vulnerable. So that's what we're doing, and that's how the investment process then links into the gender issues and sustainability as a whole. Thank you.
Ahada. Every time I come here, I have to say Hada. Thank you. I've been forced even to learn his name, Kabanda Mawa, because of what they're doing. Every time I listen to a panelist, I look back and say, what am I doing in this space? Am I giving enough, or am I just ticking off a box? So ladies and gentlemen, it's not enough to attend or even to do little. Let's give it our best. I love Luganda proverbs. I'm not a Muganda, but I grew up in Buganda. There's a proverb that says, "Olaba bajjula ng'osembera." Who knows? Who can translate that? For Dr. Paulina, she may not know. Who's kind enough? Where's the mic? Someone, please. Olaba bajjula ng'okola ki? Ng'osembera. Dr. Paulina has not understood that. Can someone be kind enough? She's a major partner. We have to make sure she understands every word. Yes, please.
Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
af-
Good morning. Morning. Sorry.
I have
So
to
I'm going
release you before
try.
good afternoon.
When you see, when you're home, and it's time for food, or if you're visiting a place and it's time for lunch, what the proverb is saying is that when you see someone starting to serve the meal, you come closer, because there's always something good that's going to happen.
Thank you. A hand clap for her. Okay? That team here, and what it particularly talked about, sustainability, what the whole team, the speakers before have talked about is sustainability. How are we playing in this field? He mentioned something important, and I think Kathy alluded to that as well. When you go to the bank, in the space of finance, the funds we are seeing have a sustainability tag on them. So you're going to walk to the bank, you're unsustainable, and then you're going to say the bank did not consider me. Why? Because you don't fit the criteria. So while they're busy telling us how we should, what's that? I'm looking for a word. How we should, I don't want to just say pitch, but what we should incorporate in our organization are all these sustainability principles, goals, values. Let's be part of it. Okay. Next is Christine. Christine is the lead brokerage manager at Cheaper Technologies. Christine, what do you think women need to explore? Why do you think women need to explore investment in the capital markets? Please share with us some of the products that women can invest in order to diversify their incomes and their portfolios, to end poverty, to accelerate progress, like our theme is, in their families and communities. And how can the women start the journey of investing in these products? Please share with us.
Thank you, Damali. That's a long question, but I'll try. How many of us have a Facebook account? All of us. And how many of us has a share in Facebook? A share. One share, just one. No, okay. 0.0001% of us share in Facebook. Dr. Mindra. Okay. How many of us have an MTN line? Don't put up your hand, Amanda. All of us. How many have shares in MTN? Good. Okay. How many of us have Instagram, promote our products, earrings, clothes, etc. on Instagram and Facebook, and we don't have shares? Do you know what you're doing? We're actually giving our money to that young man somewhere in the world out there, and he's making progress. We are accelerating his progress financially, but we are using his product, we are not earning from them. How many of us have products? Apple. It's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We have so many products in our homes and houses and offices, but we even do not know that these products, actually, we can earn from them. We can buy even at 0.001% and even get a return. Personally, I usually get emails from Coca-Cola, I get emails from Apple and other products that I have in shares. I don't even have so many shares. It doesn't need a lot of money to start. So let us normalize going beyond where we are, okay? So at Cheaper, maybe I forgot to mention, Cheaper, we are 80% of women. We actually have one man. Yes, 80%. Isn't it, Vivian? I have a colleague there. Yes, Uganda Cheaper Technologies, 80% are female. And I think we should be given a prize. Yes, so at Cheaper, before I talk about the exchange, and accessing these products is very simple. We actually, I can be here and buy shares at New York Stock Exchange, and I can get a monthly statement. I can get my daily portfolio upgrade if the price is good, if the price has gone down, and I can, I can see everything as if I entered in a brokerage firm. So let's make use of our phones. Every one of us has a smartphone. We can access internet, we can Google, we can do everything. So the products are so many. First of all, maybe I've talked about shares. There are so many. We have Stanbic Bank here. It's listed on the exchange. If you have an account and you do not have shares in Stanbic, you're losing out. You're actually losing out. If you have an account there, you have a loan, they are charging you interest, at least eat on their dividend. Tovila mwao, isn't it? If you have a Facebook account, buy a stock, buy at least, it can even be $1. I never had those shares, New York Stock Exchange shares, when I started with Crested, I went to Equity Stockbrokers under I&M Bank before I went to Cheaper Technologies. And I found they had an app. You can access 6,500 stocks on the app. As simple as that, you don't need to get a plane. So I had a conversation with someone from Bank of Uganda, a high-level person, and we're talking about he was going to buy Umeme. So when I moved, he told me, Christine, so what do you do, ABCD? So I talked about so many things and also those stocks and said, I actually have shares, but I bought them when I was studying from New York. So now we don't have to go to board a plane to invest. Women, let's start investing. The other question was, why do we need to explore in these investment, products and opportunities? First of all, if I look back, Paul has given us the statistics. In-house, if you look at the top 10, at the top 20, most of them that have a big portfolio are men. Even on the listed companies, the list of first top 10, 20, if you find they are female, it will be Mr. and Mrs. I'm being serious. Or you find a fund manager, you find, a fund manager like him owning stocks. So let us, take part in this. It will also bridge the gap, the historical gap of gender wealth. Everyone, it is about men are the ones that are rich, men. So a man owns a hotel, a man's owns so if you don't save and invest, we're not going to reach on those ladders. So let us take away that, buli musajja alina property, no. Let us come to even ladies. At least we have been given the grace, like the CEO CMS said, she was given the opportunity to study. I was also given that opportunity. My father stopped in P7, my mother stopped in S3. And I've been telling my dad that is the best gift you could give me. Taking me to university you never reached. And I appreciate him for that. So this will bridge the gap if we get involved in these products, investing. And the other thing is, it also helps us achieve long-term goals as women. I have a client. She's been saving. She usually, every month she gives money to buy shares, and I know she has a particular stock she's been building, and she's been doing well. So recently she's like, Christina, I'm stuck. I'm at school. I don't have tuition. I can have some money and pay my tuition. I'll come back when I'm better. So if this lady had not saved and invested, she'll be stuck. She'll not do exams at university or anything. So it will take her back. So, and this is helping her in her long-term goal of education. It also can help us in saving for our retirement. I was talking to my husband. No one loves a broke grandmother. Yes, my mother is a stay-home, but I'm telling you, every time she comes to our home, she must bring things for my kids. She doesn't work. But if the husband gives her money or transport, she will reduce cost to bring for my kids things. And they are very happy every time they are calling. When is she coming back? I am sure it could be those gifts. And also when we go home, she makes sure she has bought for them something. If she came to our home and she sees the cups they are using, she will buy the same cups. You find them like, but we have these things at home. Why did you even have to hustle? So no, I was telling my husband, no one loves an old grandmother. And you see, if we go to a grandmother and maybe she doesn't have anything to feed you on the table, you'll never go back there.
Whereas we're supposed to give them, but we also love the little things they give us. And also you wouldn't want to be an old lady who has retired and you're always asking for things. So let us save for our retirement. And the other thing is also buying property. It could be a long-term goal. So let me share my experience. Sometime back, I would withdraw money from my account and buy shares and invest in one of the products. But then I realized every time I have money on the account, it is easy to consume. I'll go, Manya, I've seen a shoe. Manya, my kids don't have a dress for Sunday. So I decided, one is take a facility, but two is also put, what do they call it? Monthly deduction. A standing order, thank you. A standing order into one of these products. So one time we bought a property for retirement with my husband, and I think we had a balance to clear. And we are expecting from someone who had given money. He was in problems. We gave him money, and he's a good person. Like you would lend to Paul, anytime he will pay you, isn't it? But why? So it happens that this person didn't give us the money in time. So the other place people are actually demanding. So we had been given a few months. So I told my husband, you know what? What is the balance? He just told me. And it's like, it's just 5 million. I was like, okay, in 3 days I'll give you the money. Do you know what relief my husband felt? So if I had not been doing this, if it was about getting from my account, and it would not be possible for me to accumulate and have even more. So let us invest, let us save in invest in these products for long-term goals. I've also seen a lady, she's 60 years. She made 60 years, I think, in June. She's a pastor's wife, okay, bishop. And she says, when my husband is talking with these big people, sometimes I am not adding up to the conversation. You understand? High-class conversation. So she said, you know what? I have decided I must buy a share in every product I use so that I am called in these meetings, AGMs. I also get enlightened. But also one thing that she's doing, she's going back for a bachelor's in, what do lawyers do? What do lawyers study? Law. She's going to do law at 60 years. And I'm sure if she told the husband, I want to go and do law at 60 years, I don't think the husband will support that. But because she has been investing, so she has an arm. She's empowered to say that I'm going to school and I will do what? I'll pay for myself. Then the other thing, I think it also helps us make strong financial decisions as females, and also take a lead in that space. I remember my neighbor the husband was going to, sorry, I talk about family and husbands, yes, in those spaces, yeah. So the husband was going for a PhD in South Africa, and he told the brother, you know what, I am leaving, so once in a while, check on my family. So this lady had one girl and a boy who was little. So the brother of the man said, okay, where are the car keys? And this man was like, what do you mean the car keys? I was like, yeah, you have to leave me with the car. And then the man's like, but I have left it with my wife. I was like, your wife? To do what with her car? So, now you understand historically how we have been taken for granted. We cannot drive things. We cannot have a decision. And the other thing the man did was to leave his ATM cards behind with a wife. And I think the other brother would have also claimed the same. But this lady was empowered. She had a product she was doing for their children. And I think it was an insurance product for education. So recently she was telling me, Christine, you talked to us in our marriage fellowship about these products. I want to try out one or two because the other product has matured. So this lady learned, even when the husband was away, she could make financial decisions. So maybe lastly, it also brings inclusion. So if we participate in these places, we have invested, we have, we have invested, we have participated, we have seen a C of CMA, we are able to sit in high places, on high tables, and make decisions with men. and feel included. Someone mentioned that, and feel included so that the decisions taken, there, there's gender balance. So in conclusion, I think if women explore in these spaces, they are not only to be supported as individuals, they're not great as individuals, but they also support families, societies, and communities. Thank you so much, Damali.
Okay, we are picking up. At least we clapped. Can we clap louder? Thank you, Christine, and for sharing some of your personal stories. I liked among the many important things she said, I liked the lady going back to school at 60. Maybe I'll be motivated to go and study medicine. In my family, I'm called Kamyufu. I do the medics, but I love it. So I'm saying, maybe I should meet her. Okay. We're going to the next session. I promise to get you out of here by midday. Thank you for keeping here. Until then, I know we have quite a number of engagements. We are going to a Q&A session. We can ask one question to any of the panelists. Please keep it short in the interest of time, so we give them a chance to answer. Where's the mic? Okay. If you have a question, kindly put up your hand. Someone is moving the mic. If you have any specific panelists, kindly give them the question, or one of them will answer it. Where's the second mic? Okay. The lady over there, kindly tell us your name and your question in a minute. I like that table, it's smiling. I was about to write them off initially.
Thank you so much. I am privileged to be here. Once again, my name is Nam Soria Stella. I work with Ministry of Internal Affairs in the Department of Immigration. I am here on invitation of my colleague with whom I study at Uganda Management Institute, Mr. Were John. He's been moving around. I am glad to be sharing with you at this moment of time. I have two questions, and the other question involves an experience that I would like to share with you so that maybe you give me a clarification on. The first question is, the approach, it so turns out that the approach of Uganda Securities Exchange seems to focus on the elite class, right? Yet we know and have many traders downtown, those who are not in the elite class. And yet we think that use could be the answer or could have an answer too. So I'm wondering, where is the effort to engage those people down? Is there a way they can also be involved in this? Then the other question goes, do we have targeted marketing appeals or translated material for those people? Yeah, because they are also a part of us. They also contribute greatly to their taxes. Yes. So I'm thinking, from the look of things, we are only looking at us here, and we are forgetting that there are other people also somewhere. So I don't know how that can be worked out. So the other question is, for some of us, like as for me who works in government, because I come to realize majority of us here are in, I call it private sector, yes, those other companies. how best can I how best can I be helped to also maybe invest? Because yes, I understand I need to start as an individual, like it has been elaborated. But to talk about the experience that I mentioned earlier, we've tried to do those things on several occasions. But it so turns out that the side of our job, the demand, the other side does not allow us to succeed in most cases. And we end up making losses. I personally have invested in more than 5 businesses, I could tell you. And I've lost a lot of money, yeah? So the reason I am here is to see if I can be helped so that the next business I look at or the next other alternative direction I take will be a success. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to just listen to this and just leave it at that. Thank you so much.
Kindly remind me your name.
I'm called Namsovia Stella.
Okay, Stella, thank you so much for that question. I believe you're in the right place. Remember what we said, what am I going to do? The individual, the organization, and their group. Now you're the one going to take that message to your colleagues in government that these things are there. Like we said, ulaba bajula, sembera, bajude, sembera, get all your guys to come. There was a question for USE, I think. I don't know who will take that. We want to take the set of questions and then the answer. Yes.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I don't know if it's afternoon yet. Okay. My name is Nanchinga Shifra, and I work with Galiawamu Women. We are a circle that started with humble beginnings as a CBO. So my question goes to Madam Christine. To you, Chippa Technologies, I've heard the wonderful things you have been doing for the women in our country. And my question stands. How can you as Chippa Technologies extend that kind of service to the people that we work with in lower communities, like the vulnerable women that we work with? How can they be helped in that line of investing with Chippa Technologies? Because like you said, in a few words, you said, I think one of the things that I quoted in your statement was a need of a smartphone. So how can a vulnerable woman that doesn't have this smartphone be helped? Because I also want to go back to Mutungo, Agali Awamu, and talk to my people and tell them, you know, JBD, kati mbatuukirire ntya. I'm sorry, I'm going to use a bit of Luganda as well. Kati abantu bange mbatuukirire ntya. Bagambe nti waliyo ekintu ekyokya ate ng'osobola okukola ki? Okukifunamu nga ne bw'oba oli omuntu wa wansi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shifra. Agali Awamu. Do we know what Agali Awamu means? We don't know. No. We want to see if the others know. There's a gentleman here. Agali Awamu. The mic here. He wants to tell us what Agali Awamu means. So these words just don't pass us by.
Agali Awamu. I'm Edward, Code Academy. Yes, Agali Awamu is a term that that refers to being together. It was used so much to mean the teeth that is joined together, you know, can really bite meat, you know. Agali Awamu ge galume nyama wechigwayo mu Luganda.
Thank you so much, Obugalo. And this is what USC has done today. Agali to kulia wamu. Have you ever seen omuntu wa Malibu? Bamitani? Wamapengo. What's that called? A person without teeth. Can they eat meat? No. So you guys have teeth. Please eat the meat. Yes. A third question. We'll take 4 questions. Then the panel will answer.
All right. Well, my name's Achayo Kevin, and I love doing community work. So I have two questions. One goes to Cheaper Technologies. As part of what you've been trying to educate us on, do you have any initiatives that you put in communities to promote gender equality? Because most of these things, we usually hear them when you have such corporate gatherings, and it's just a few group of people who know about them. So we'd love to know if you have some initiatives that you've put in the community so that we can encourage members within our communities to be part of those initiatives. Then the second one is also in line with this, but this goes to Stanbic Bank. I know they have a program, which is the Women in Business Training. I also benefited from it once. Although I realize that it's limited because you have to attend or be part from within the Stanbic premises or specifically allocated areas. So how can you mitigate the limitation by also expanding it and making it part of our daily community activities, making it part of the community initiatives that we are talking about? Thank you.
Sorry, I have two more questions, one here and one there, and we'll close the Q&A.
Hello, good morning. I'm Tunjire Shila, CEO, Goya Investments Limited. We are into dairy production. We pack yogurt, pasteurized milk, and powdered milk. My question goes to Christine, or anyone else who can help us. You talked about shares and the products, but we did not get specifically where we can invest the money. Either you give us websites or you tell us go to MTN, or we need to be enlightened. Then another thing is about Uganda Securities Exchange. Minus the website you've given us, do we need to, is there a fee we need to pay if we're joining? Is there a certain class which you have reached that you need to join? Is it for everyone? Thank you so much.
Sheila? Thank you, Sheila. One more here, and then we'll close the Q&A.
Thank you. Edward Sempala is my name, Code Academy Uganda. We are into educating children in computer science while having them learn coding. And we have had many activities that regard women empowerment, like girls in ICT. So mine goes to Stanbic Bank. I am impressed by the work you're doing to address the women empowerment within our country, and the work you're doing with WeToo. My question is, do you guys have room for more partners in the space of tech education that you would work with to really bring this knowledge to more women and children that are girls in our country? Thank you.
Olaba Bajula Kosembera. Edward has been very bold, to ask. Next year, around this time when we come back, I'm sure we'll have some statistics of young ladies, maybe even older ones, that they have trained in coding. So thank you, Edward. Okay, I'd like to give the panel a chance to answer these questions. The first one came from Stella. It was directed to USE, but I'm thinking Christine can answer that. Shifra was also directed to Christine. Kevin was also to Christine and Stanbic. The third one from Sheila was to Chipa as well. And then Edward, I think, also to Stanbic. But in case any of you has anything to say, and as you answer the question, kindly also give us your closing remarks.
Okay, should I go first?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Damali, and the people have asked questions. So the first question was about people who are in, for example, downtown, or we know, isn't it, if I got it right, they seem to be left out. I really want to doubt that. A few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I had a man who came and sold his 3 million Stanbic shares. This is an Indian man that has a shop in Chikubu. He has no email address. How did he get to buy shares? He has no email address. He's very old. And I've also had similar examples of people that come from. I also have another lady who actually invests because of the son. She's a single mother. She works in Owino. She actually sells sweaters. So it's not a case for only the land or the high class. I think also the exchange and the Capital Markets Authority, they have really reached out. I remember early in my first years in the stock market, we would go out in the districts. When I was at Crested, we went out in all the regions of Uganda. And I think we are promoting, we are changing from share certificates to ACD accounts. We would sit at a Stanbic branch, put posters and banners. I remember one time we were in Bara, and a lady a girl actually from Uganda Matters Primary School, I'll not forget, and they have a yellow and green uniform. I won't forget her. I was seated with Chimuli Nicholas, my former colleague, and there was a table on the flank, and the girl said, maybe she was in P5, and they say that they are selling shares, but where are the shares? They are not on the table. And we have never forgotten that. We kept laughing. So it was between me and Nicholas, say, should we pull this girl and sit her down and tell her these are not like biscuits you go and buy and eat, but you know that we have really tried out. Usually ask organizations, we go there and give presentations and tell them what a share is, how you can invest, how to start, how to save, when to buy, and when to sell. So yes, I believe there is also, there's still work to do, but we have also tried our level best to reach out to the so-called not high class or the not so land. I think I've answered that. Paul will add if there is still need. Someone also asked about vulnerable women. How can they access investment when they have no smartphones? Right? So before there were smartphones, we used to buy shares. Yes, before there were smartphones. By the time I came in the market, I think we're just in the process, because you go to a stockbroker in their office, pay money, they buy shares for you and issue a certificate. Like the way you buy land and you're given a land title. And some of these people still have those share certificates, but if you're there, please bring it and we convert it. Yes, so still, you can reach out if you're a leader of such a group of ladies and you need them to access such investment opportunities and products, please, at least why I think you have a smartphone, go to CMA and Google. All the broker names are there. It's not only cheap. I'm just here to represent other brokers in the market. We are about 5 stock brokers. Get their phone numbers, get their physical offices, addresses. Move to the office. You're always welcome. And you actually get information and conversations and examples that you never get on smartphone, so that we can share with you experiences, examples, what to buy and what not to buy. So don't let someone without a smartphone be left out. I have many clients who don't have smartphones and they invest. So reach out or visit our offices for advice and guidance. Maybe the other one was a tricky one. I wish my MD was here to answer this. initiatives in communities to promote gender equality. As CHIPA, maybe I should make a disclaimer. CHIPA is a subsidiary of what we call CHIPA Cash. It's a platform, but CHIPA Technologies, CHIPA Cash is a name, a global name. So in all the countries where we are, we call ourselves Technologies, that country, like CHIPA Technologies Ghana, CHIPA Technologies Kenya. So when we came in Uganda, we only had the New York Stock Exchange products, or the stocks. And maybe what I should also mention, we have, anyone who knows what an exchange-traded fund is? Exchange-traded fund is a safe product, like the way you don't want to invest in Stanbic, who is here. So exchange-traded funds, this is a stock or an equity or a security. It is a bucket of products that come from the same industry. So in case you don't want to buy Stanbic, you're not sure if it's a risky stock, you can buy a basket that involves Stanbic, Baroda, and DFCU. And usually, if one doesn't perform well, the other two can perform, and your investment is safe. So we had those products, and what we did was get brand ambassadors to reach out. And these are people that speak in Luganda. And I'm not sure they are preaching to the converted. They are speaking the people down there. They are speaking in Luganda, and they are only female. They are only female. They've been talking about products that, moving your money freely, how to invest in stocks. You can start with 500. So I think CHIPA has also tried. Apart from having 80% of female in office, we have also brought the others that are in the communities to empower the people, all the female, of course everyone, whom we cannot access. So I think that one we have tried, and I hope I've answered slightly. But also where we get opportunities, we go and speak about the stock market and the products. So the products are many. There's treasury bills. There are funds, you need trust funds, collective investment schemes, apart from shares that I've mentioned, really. So they are quite a number. And lastly, we are to specifically invest the money. Is there a cost? You have not guided us. So like I mentioned, please find out where we are located as brokers, visit us, get our contacts. But also, what I want to mention is that in our market, we are privileged. Before you open a bank account, you're supposed to pay a fee. But in the market, when you're going to open a shares trading account, which is an ACD account, you pay zero. And there's no maintenance cost. So if you bought shares today, you only pay the broker, what we call a broker fee. And that is it. If you bought shares and invested for the next 10 years, you never pay any money. There's no maintenance fee, there's no entry fee. Maybe a broker will advise you for you to, to make better progress, you should always do like this and add this. But there's no entry fee, there's no maintenance fee. You only pay at the entrance, a broker for the service they have offered you. Remember, investment advice is free. It's just the trading, because we have to pay the USE and the CMA, and also and pay when you are actually exiting. So yes, I think that is it. I hope I have tried to answer the questions, and thank you so much for having me here. And I think we are going to do better as ladies, females, not only individually, but in our families and societies. Thank you.
Hi, I'll quickly summarize from the Stanbic perspective. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to benefit from the trainings. We actually try to do them countrywide and in different locations. Maybe what we'll do with my colleagues, we can have a chat later. I know we have roadshows this month for Women's Month. We're going across the regions. So maybe it's about we could publicize the schedules. Yeah, we can work on that just to make it better, so that if we're in local markets or community areas, maybe it's the issue of knowing in advance. So we can definitely work on that, and thank you so much for the feedback. We'll work on that. Edward, very happy to look into it with you. Let's just have a chat after here. If there's a proposal, I'll find money from my CSI kitty. I'll see what to do. Thank you. I think that's it.
You heard, fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, and
Oh,
my closing remark is just to thank the USC for promoting this and elevating it. We really, really want to push as much as possible, especially on the vulnerable women. The lady of the circles, you're going to see us heavily involved in the future. There are a couple of big ideas we have. So the team and I are working on a few things, want to see how we can support you, especially on the education opportunities, offering more of the financial literacy training. We realize that without educating women about money, if you just don't have the knowledge, you don't know what to do. So you're always stuck in, and bless, there was the lovely lady who talked about her businesses. She set up 3 businesses and struggled. We're going to work on a few things and maybe even for these roadshows that are happening, I'd really encourage you to be part of these financial literacy community events. You learn a lot and they're free. They're free of charge, so that you don't have to keep going for another business idea without a real knowledge of basic things like business planning, even just money management and operations of a business, understanding even marketing. We really want to fix that. So we're going to try and support as much as possible. But happy to chat later to give more, but this is work we'll continue to do at Stanbic. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I'll have a closing remark from Mr. Okello, even if it's a sentence.
Thank you so much. I think I really need to thank everyone who made it here today. And we are not just here in vain. I think you've learned quite a lot, or there's some value addition in what you've taken from here. So as UN Women, as an entity for gender equality and women empowerment, we are with you. We look at your business. We look at you as a person. We look at the community. We look at the ecosystem. We work with the government, everybody, to make sure that gender equality is a priority. This morning we mentioned that it is a journey, and it is a journey that will not end. Just know that as long as humanity is still here on earth. So as UN Women, we really need to thank you. I thank my colleagues, thank USC and everybody else here, and the hotel, the media for coming to this event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Okello, for that assurance. They said they're going to be here, Paka. So let's take advantage of that. Mr. I wanted to, Kabandamawa. Your closing remarks?
You can speak with confidence.
Kabandamawa.
Thank you very much. So I just want also to add my thanks to the team and the UN team and the Uganda Securities Exchange and some friends of mine. Christine didn't say that we have been in the trenches for quite some time, and it's exciting to see that we are seeing a lot of women coming up in our space as investment managers. They are taking leading roles, and we are happy to support them. We also we have big plans around sustainability. So in case we call upon you, please come into not to partner. Let me use the right word, to partner. We've already, like I said, we've already done an MOU with the UNFPA, and there are a couple of other initiatives that we're working on, and we believe that we are doing our part. So when we come back next year, our lineup between 8th of March this year and 8th of March next year, we should have quite an array array of results to report on. So thank you very much.
Thank you. A round of applause to our panel. Eh. Ah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can kindly take your seats. We've come to the close of this beautiful day. We hope we have each learned something. But before we close, US is not only showing cause. Okay, we had the statistics about the women engaged in their leadership, on their board, and the organization. So I want to take this chance to welcome Jacinta. Jacinta is the head of legal and also the company secretary at the Uganda Securities Exchange. As a host, she will bid us farewell and give us closing remarks. And thank all of you for coming and taking time out. Thank you. Jacinta, you're welcome.
Thank you, Damali. And good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sparing your time, your precious time to be with us. I think we started this morning, this day, while greeting each other good morning. And I cannot even explain how quickly the time has gone by. And here we are. It's now afternoon, but I believe the discussions that we have had today have been worthwhile, I'd like to believe. So thank you so much. We do not take it for granted that everyone here has taken the time to share with us their experiences. I'd like to start by thanking our panelists. Paul from UN Women, thank you so much. Christine from CHIPA, Kathy from MTN, and Mr. Mugalia from Stanbic. Yes, Kathy from Stanbic, my apologies. And Mr. Mugalia from Sanlam. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with all of us. I'd also like to thank our various sponsors. This event would not have happened if not for all your support. So thank you so much for all your input. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Josephine in her absence, our keynote. And importantly, I'd also like to congratulate all the companies that have signed the WEPs today and to welcome you on this journey of promoting gender equality in the workplace and in our different communities. So I think we need to give them one more round of applause as we welcome them. Thank you. And as I conclude, I think it was Christine who mentioned that one of the reasons why empowering women in the workspace and also in our different environments is so that we are not broke grandmothers. So as we leave this place, and this is to the ladies, let's continue to work so that we are not those broke grandmothers that Christine was talking about. And also I think the encouragement, saving for retirement, investing in property, and also encouraging us as we make financial decisions that continue to push us. I think it's always a great opportunity to be in such a space and also hearing the different stories from the women and their experiences. So as I just conclude this event, once again, thank you all for your time. Please do not grow weary of continuing the journey. I think it was Paul who said that it is a lifelong journey. As long as humanity exists, we'll continue to push for gender equality and encourage women to continue breaking the glass ceiling. So let's continue to do that as we walk out of this place. And like to, on behalf of the USE and our CEO, Mr. Paul Bisso, thank you for empowering us to have this event. And wish you all a very lovely afternoon and weekend. Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Damali. I think let's give her a loud applause. Thank you, Damali. You have, I think, handled this event perfectly. And thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
And thank you, USE, for always inviting me. Please continue. Okay, before we close, we have exhibition tables at the back. There was someone asking, what do we need to do? Where do we get information? Please visit any of those tables. They have some products. Finca is there if you want to open an account, or they have some products you might want to consume. The Code Academy has a desk. They want you to know about coding for yourself, for your children, for your family. Be Money Wiser is a financial literacy program. A desk, they have some piggy banks over there. You can save your money in the box before you take it to Stanbic, okay? And to invest it. Then Sam's has some freebies for us. Some tasty snacks. So as you walk out, please pass by their table and pick a snack. However, we should not just stop at picking. When you go to the supermarket, please buy support. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the service providers. Thank you to USE and UN. Thank you to the partners, those who were strong enough to sign up, and those who've been there before. Anyone else I didn't thank? You know when you can forget people. However, if I haven't picked you, thank you still. Please have a nice day and a nice weekend and enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much. Bye.